There's a cruel irony in music. Sometimes the song you write in 5 minutes, without much thought, is the one that defines your career forever. And sometimes you look at that song years later and think, why was it exactly this one that people chose to love? Kurt Cobain felt it, Tom York felt it, Noel Gallagher felt it, and those songs changed their lives in the wrong way. The story of Creep begins on a street in Oxford called Little Clarendon Street, where Tom York spent his days stalking a woman. The lyrics came from a session of self-loathing.
But I'm a creep.
When he showed it to the band, the reaction was unanimous. Everyone hated it, especially Johnny Greenwood, who thought the song was so bad that he decided to sabotage it. That guitar riff that explodes before the chorus that everyone knows.
But I'm a creep.
It was Greenwood trying to ruin the music with dissonant chords. The problem is that it sounded good. So good that the recording on the album Pablo Honey is literally a rehearsal, a warm-up while they adjusted equipment. Creep exploded in 1993, and for years Radiohead had to play it everywhere. But in 1998, they stopped completely. They only returned on special occasions. During the Pablo Honey tour, the pressure to play Creep was so intense that Tom York began to react badly to audience requests. In 2021, York released this completely destroyed version of the song, almost as if he were trying to erase the original. He transformed a power ballad into a distorted electronic experience. It's as if he were saying, if you insist on listening, it's going to be like this. Kurt Cobain wrote Smells Like Teen Spirit in 1991, attempting to create the ultimate pop song by copying the dynamics of the Pixies. Chris Novoselic looked at it and said, that's ridiculous. Cobain made the band rehearse for an hour and a half before Novoselic agreed. The line was something Cobain would say at parties to break the ice. When it blew up, Cobain began to hate what the song represented. Suddenly, the same guys who beat him up in high school were at Nirvana concerts. He began refusing to play the song live, or deliberately butchering it on stage, as in this chaotic performance at the Reading Festival. Once it went mainstream, it was over, he said in interviews at the time. I'm tired of being embarrassed by it. He never understood why people couldn't see beyond a song he wrote in 20 minutes. You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party was born at a table in the Palladium in New York in the summer of 1986. Mike D, Ad Rock, and MCA were drinking vodka with grapefruit juice with Rick Rubin and wrote the song in 5 minutes. It was a joke, a satire of the party songs of the time. They were making fun of the frat boys. The problem is that nobody got the joke. Fight for Your Right became an anthem for exactly the people they were making fun of. The frat boys adopted the song as their anthem. The MTV video portrayed the Beastie Boys as exactly the kind of people they detested.
You gotta fight for your right to party.
In 2011, years after they stopped playing the song live, the Beastie Boys released this short film directed by Adam Yauch shortly before his death. The video shows exactly what they always thought of the song, an absurd satire of themselves as immature beer salesmen, with actors like Will Ferrell and Jack Black playing the band. It's visual proof that for them, it was always a big joke, which unfortunately nobody understood at the time. They never played the song live again. When you hear that song at a party today, half the people sing along, thinking it's a rebellious anthem, and the other half, those who know the story, know it's a joke about themselves. Michael Stipe, Peter Buck, Mike Mills, and Bill Berry were in Athens, Georgia in 1990 when they decided to do something different. They wanted to write a pop song on purpose, something light, something fun, something that sounded like a margarine commercial jingle. Stipe even described the process as making fun of one's own optimism. Shiny Happy People was born, with that shiny guitar, backing vocals by Kate Pearson, sounding like a church choir, and lyrics that seemed to have been written by a 5-year-old using crayons. It was, in the band's own words, an exercise in absurd pop. The problem is that nobody understood it was a joke. Or maybe they did, but didn't care. The song exploded on the radio. It became a forced anthem of positivity, played in commercials and at children's parties. In interviews throughout the 90s and 2000s, Michael Stipe was brutally honest. I really don't like that song, he said. It's disposable, it's bad, and it was meant to be a joke about pop music, but it became exactly the kind of thing they were making fun of. The band simply stopped playing it live. It disappeared from set lists. When fans requested it at shows, Stipe ignored them. The ultimate irony, Shiny Happy People is probably their best-known song in some mainstream circles, along with Losing My Religion. But while they embraced the latter as a masterpiece, Shiny Happy People has become a stain. Slash was at a rehearsal in 1986 when he started playing that thing on the guitar. It was a finger exercise. He thought it sounded like one of those up-tempo ballads. A hard rock band shouldn't play that. But Axl Rose liked it. They turned that little experiment into Sweet Child O' Mine. Slash hated the chord progression. Axl was also bothered by the song, but for a different reason. The radio version cut out Slash's slow guitar solo. Axl wanted people to hear the solo as it was played. Today, Slash recognizes the cultural impact. It's hard to imagine a world where that song doesn't exist. But still, when he hears a version of Sweet Child O' Mine in an elevator, he feels a mixture of emotions. Part pride, part bewilderment. Noel Gallagher wrote Wonderwall while on tour. He didn't make demos for the album. He wrote in hotels and planned to finish the songs in the studio, but he never got around to finishing them. Wonderwall, Morning Glory, Cast No Shadow, all are half-written in his words. His brother Liam also hated the song from the start. He said it was trip-hop. Noel insisted that Liam sing it instead of Don't Look Back in Anger. In 2008, Liam said at a press conference, "At least there's no Wonderwall on the new album. I can't stand that song. Every time I have to sing it, I want to vomit." Noel agreed. Outside of England, it's the song we're famous for worldwide, and that irritates me. It's not a rock and roll song. Wonderwall was the first song from the 90s to reach 1 billion streams on Spotify. Noel looks at it and thinks, it doesn't make sense. It's one of my least favorite songs because it's unfinished. If I could go back in time, I'd choose a different song to be our calling card. Robert Plant was 22 years old when he wrote Stairway to Heaven with Jimmy Page in 1971. The song grew from an acoustic guitar riff into an almost 8-minute jam session that became the most played song on rock radio for decades. The problem is that Plant got tired of playing it at every show, tired of being reduced to that song. For Page, Stairway always crystallized the essence of the band. It had everything there. It showed Led Zeppelin at their best, as a band, as a unit. Plant, on the other hand, spent years avoiding the song. It wasn't an official ban, but a clear weariness. Whenever he could, he left Stairway out. Over the decades, he spoke openly about how the song became a difficult burden to bear. In more recent interviews, he admits that he has finally made some kind of peace with the song. Not because he has come to love it again, but because he has learned to accept it as an inevitable part of his own history. In 2023, Plant finally sang Stairway to Heaven at a benefit concert linked to Andy Taylor's Of Duran Duran Battle with Cancer. Perhaps the absence made his heart grow, or perhaps he simply gave in for a good cause. What do these 7 stories have in common? They're all about artists who created something that spiraled out of control. Creep was meant to be discarded. Smells Like Teen Spirit was an attempt to copy the Pixies. Fight for Your Right was a joke. Sweet Child O' Mine was a prank. Wonderwall wasn't finished. Stairway to Heaven became a burden. The irony is that these songs are loved by millions. But for those who created them, they represent the moment when art became a product. The moment when intention was lost. And perhaps that's the price of success. You write something in 5 minutes and spend the rest of your life trying to escape it, trying to prove you're more than that song. Sometimes it works. Radiohead became one of the most respected bands in the world. Beastie Boys rebuilt their careers. Sometimes it doesn't work. Nirvana ended. Oasis ended. Led Zeppelin ended. But all these bands have one thing in common. They never managed to completely escape that music. And maybe they never will. Because once you create something that touches millions of people, it's no longer yours. It belongs to the world. And the world doesn't care if you hate it. The world just wants to hear it again.